he goes on to speak of other things about his Father and what rightful prayer would be, how the will of heaven is intended to be imbued in the earth of a human being, but it's not. And then he begins to give instructions about what is required for a person to come back home, meaning to re-enter into the celestial, the divine alignment that's intended to be the very crux of our existence. And at one point, which I'm going to pick up here in Matthew 6, he says, "No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon." Now, I'm not going to take time to explain this one. I've done this several times now. But the point simply made is that when he says you can't serve two masters, he's not talking about two separate masters. He's talking about a single nature divided into two, called desire, where if I want one thing, I do not want the other. And if I don't want something, it's because I want the other. And that this is a singular nature. And that as long as one lives from that nature without knowing it, they will always serve one and despise the other and never understand why they have no whole life of their own. But then to the point of our talk today, "Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, what you shall drink, nor yet for your body, what you shall put on. Is not the life more than the meat, the body more than raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they?" You know, a question like that, which I'd like to actually just throw away my notes and examine the question by itself. Are you not better than they? How many of you are better than a bird? Why? I don't see any. Who's accused you? You know the point of that statement, don't you? Here is everything in creation, cared for by creation, to the completion of its nature and the fulfillment of its purpose on earth, which is to extend the principle of heaven into the parts that express that on the planet. What are you? What do we do? Our life is nothing but the pursuit of something that will make us seem to ourselves and those around us as if we have accomplished something, become something special. Now let me interpret that section with the special writing, and then we're going to examine it. And do listen. This is a prescription. You have to make the medicine. This is a prescription. Your thoughts about it will not bring about a healing. But if you understand the prescription, then you know the pharmacist. You know what must be done. You know what is mandated for you if you understand the prescription. And here it is. None of our thoughts, even the most sublime, have the power to change the fact that we are ceaselessly in thought. As such, we live in a perpetual dream of freedom that is the nature of captivity itself, an unwitting adherent to a level of consciousness that is at once the process and the pain born of being identified with a string of dreams that we mistake as being ourselves. The great paradox herein is that it has taken all of that thinking, wasted in one sense, to bring us to this same unthinkable realization where the clearer becomes our perception of this same truth. And what is, by the way, the perception of this same truth? What is it? I'm asking you. That none of my thoughts have brought about the peace that I seek. Not one, no matter what name I've given it. No matter how strongly I believe in that thought. It doesn't change the fact that I remain in pieces. And that I don't have the peace ostensibly obtained by identifying with those thoughts and their sentimental or otherwise sensational qualities. Where the clearer becomes our perception of that truth, the more definitive the action we are prescribed by it. Now, how many of you at least get the sense of this writing?